Hi, Natalie Joy here. Good, happy Friday, dreamers. I wanted to go ahead and get on this Friday and chat with you for just a little bit. I intended to kind of wait until next week, but felt just that God was really putting on my heart really heavy to just share with you a little bit about this last week and just some really cool stuff that's kind of going on. And so I started a few weeks ago this study, and I'm actually teaching two groups. And so the study is actually on John Maxwell's Intentional Living. And I'm not sure if any of you have read that book or if you're even familiar with John Maxwell. But it is a study on really just living life with intention. We all have good intentions, but there's definitely a big difference between living a life with good intention and just having good intentions. And a big step in transitioning from a life of just good intentions to a life of living with intention is really the point of taking action. So I'm teaching two groups right now, and one of them is to an amazing group of women and just kind of talking through as they move into a different phase of life, and they're kind of in that what's next phase and kind of figuring out what is their God-sized dream. And that's one group. But then there's another group that is just so heavy on my heart. I have a really big heart for women that have experienced any type of an emotional hurt. And right now I'm doing a lot of volunteer work with an agency that my company gives back to, and it's called Wellspring Living. And they work with women that have, or actually girls, that have been rescued from situations of trafficking. So these girls are even as young as the age of 9, which is just very, very sad. But they've been in all kinds of different situations specifically related to trafficking. And so I have wanted to volunteer for this agency for a long time, and then with moving into following my God-sized dream and starting my company, it's allowed me to have the free time to be able to do that. So as I looked for what I wanted to do and how I wanted to volunteer, I just felt very heavy on my heart that I wanted to take this material and help them to understand what it's like to live a life of intention. So we're meeting once a week and just talking through what does that look like, and helping them to realize that they can really put whatever they want into the pages of their journal. And so my very first day with them, I handed each one of them a blank journal and said, hey, you have the ability to fill these pages with anything that you want. And it was just really cool to see them smile and think about the possibility, especially coming from whatever situation that they'd come from. So the point of me jumping on is to tell you a little bit about, of course, what's going on with that, but it was really neat because the topic this week just seemed to make so much sense for anyone. The topic this week was actually on starting small but believing big, starting small but dreaming big. And it was just really neat to see these girls, when you talk about starting small, they really have nothing. And to see them even want so badly to make a difference in someone else's life was just absolutely incredible. Brought some tears to my eyes, and has definitely been an emotional week, thinking about how badly they wanted to really impact the lives of other people, especially when they have so little. And so I want to talk about the fact that so often we think that we have to have it all together before we can make an impact. A big thing that's important to me and important to my company is we want to help women get their business off the ground and move forward. But a lot of those businesses, which is so cool, is really giving back to others and making a huge difference in the lives of other people. And we want to be able to do as much of that as possible. And so, starting small and actually getting moving is a big part of that. And I think so often we think we have to have it all together. We've got to have all of the resources, and we have to have everything in place before we take that first step forward. So if you are someone who is in the process of figuring out your God-sized dream or pursuing your God-sized dream, it really comes down to sometimes just starting small. I know in one of Holly's books, I believe it's in both of the Opening the Door to Your God-Sized Dream and then also, God-Sized Dreams, in both of those books, she talks about how, even if you can just put a little bit of time towards your dream, just a little bit, just take a step forward. I I think, oh, there we go. I thought I lost you for a second. So with that being said, sometimes it's just a matter of just one thing. If you could do one thing to move yourself forward, then that's incredible. It's just moving down that path towards what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. So I just want to encourage you this week, and especially as you know, we're into Friday, looking into your next week. For some of you, just like I do, I really kind of plan out my week. This afternoon, I'll spend a whole lot of time planning out what does my week look like, and what are the things I'm going to work on when it comes to my business and my God-sized dream. What are the things I'm going to focus on for the week? So I'm going to encourage you, if that's the case and you're really starting to think about what does your next week entail, or what are you going to put on your calendar for this next week, think about what is that one thing that you could do that's going to move you towards your goal of accomplishing your God-sized dream, and hopefully your goal of giving back or helping people in some way. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye.